When you're a pioneer getting off on your own, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to take you out. When you're with a franchise, at least, they've already got the path going. They have a lot of different areas that show success. And they're just say, hey guys, I need you to come this way.
Welcome to the Zero to Profitable Franchise Podcast, the best place for you to come to figure out the right franchise to buy and how to get and stay profitable. My name is Tarek Johnson, and I've bought, grown, and sold multiple franchises and got myself free from corporate America, and now I'm on a mission to help you do that too. Here you'll find some of the most in-depth profitable franchise secrets, tangible strategies, and specific mindsets to help you create your dream life through franchising. What I like to tell people is that it's not mutually exclusive. If you buy a franchise now, doesn't mean you can't start your own thing later. Like for me personally, I knew that I wanted to start my own thing, but I tried to do it 9 times and failed. And so franchising for me was just a means to an end to become an entrepreneur, right? And so that worked. I learned how to run a business through owning a franchise. And then I was able to then take those lessons, start Franchise Empire as an example, from the lessons that I learned from franchising.
Absolutely.
So I think for some people, it's like, hey, like you can, if you have this vision that you want to start this very specific type of business, you have no idea what to start, you don't know how to figure out the systems. Yeah, maybe buying a franchise is the best next step. The question to me really becomes like, what's the best next step for me right here, right now?
Right. Yeah. And they don't know. That's why they're talking to you. If they knew, they wouldn't need you, right? So that's a huge benefit. And as a franchise owner myself, I kind of laugh when I get into these conversations, but once people start going down the road with us and we're introducing them to brands and we're talking about the due diligence, then you get to the conversation about royalties. Right. So again, starting your own business, that's when that conversation will come up, right? Mark, I looked at the FDD and I'm realizing that I'm paying these guys 8% off the top every month, plus 2% in marketing, plus 1% of local funds mandatory. Why do I need to do that? And I say, you don't. I said, but I'll tell you what, when we were running our Five Guys franchise, I was thrilled to death to take that money off the top every month and give it to the brand because I knew what I was getting in return for that investment. If you're not thrilled about writing that royalty check, then you're right. You probably don't want franchising because if that's going to be a thorn in your side every single month, you're not going to get past it, which means you don't see the value in it. And if you don't, what are you going to do? So that's a nice opportunity to use why don't I start my own business to help them understand the real value of the franchise system from the support they get. And if you do it after they've already met some of the people at the brand, it starts clicking for them like, oh, that person does all that marketing for me. Oh, I get it. I don't have to do that part of it. So,
and it coming from a franchisor side of things, from, my wife and I, when we started our business, was we already did all that. So we did the pioneering of figuring everything out. We did all the pioneering of getting all the different suppliers. And I mean, it sounds even stupid to say forms, but when you're starting from scratch, it's all from scratch. And so there's time, there's energy, there's money, there's all these things. And then you also have some history to know what works and what doesn't work. And so that's part of that where you're like, I'm telling you what to do, not because I'm trying to be a tyrant, but I'm telling you what works. And I'm trying to encourage you that you need to do the path that I'm trying to tell you to get on. Don't go your own path. I like to use that analogy like landmines. When you're a pioneer getting off on your own, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to take you out. When you're with a franchise, at least, they've already kind of figured it out. They've already got the path going. They have a lot of different areas that show success. And they're just say, hey guys, I need you to come this way. So even when I talk to candidates, I like to tell them right away. I say, hey, listen, they say, well, what about all this money? They want me to spend X amount of money every month on marketing. I said, because they know it works. Because they know. They have all the history, they have all the data, and they can just show it to you and say, if you do this, we're going to say that you have a greater probability to be successful if you keep doing that. And that's kind of the guide that you're looking for. So, that's why I always say I'm all about franchising. I think it's the way to go.
Hey, before we go, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't already. And the biggest thank you that you could ever give me is to share this episode with someone who you think will benefit. That means that we can share this message with more people and hopefully positively inspire them like we have you. So thank you. And until next time, go build your empire.